Got an email list, but you don't know what to send them? Maybe you're noticing that you haven't been getting as much interaction with your emails as you used to, and you're wondering if it's the content that's turning people off. Well, in this video, we're going to look at some of the different types of email that you can be sending to your email list. Now, there's a little bit of sneakiness going on here because all of these different strategies aim to sell your email subscribers on your business, whether you're B2B, B2C, product, or a service company. But the catch is, and here's where the sneakiness comes in, none of these emails feel overly salesy at all. So they're designed to sell, but without appearing to sell. Now, this means that they're much less fatiguing than the sort of heavily promotional, high-pitched emails which can quickly reduce your open rate and your click-through rate. Ready? Then let's begin. Alright, here's the deal about your email list. Not everyone in your email list is ready to buy, and not everyone in your email list is convinced that you are the right solution for them. So we've got a bit of work to do there. We also need to remember that the people in your email subscriber list are at different stages of the buyer journey. So some of them are going to be at the curiosity stage, i.e. they've maybe downloaded a guide or they've signed up for something with you. Some of them are going to be at the research phase where they're actively measuring you against competitors to see which is the best option for them. And some of them are going to be at the intent phase, i.e. they're ready to buy something now. Now, there is also a chance that some of them will be in there having purchased from somebody else, and at that point we want to try and trigger dissatisfaction with the purchase that they've made in the chance of bringing them over to us, if that's applicable in your business. Okay, so not everyone is ready to buy when you are ready to sell. So what we really want to be able to do with our emails is create a sort of conveyor belt that takes people along this journey from curiosity, research, to intent. And intent is when you're actually going to sign them up as a customer. And email marketing is a perfect way to get people on this conveyor belt because it allows your sales team or the people in the business to focus on selling to the people who are ready to buy whilst everyone else is being primed automatically. And we call it a kind of indoctrination sequence, which is a bit of a sneaky term. It's from Frank Kern. We didn't come up with that one, but an indoctrination sequence which essentially puts people on this conveyor belt that brings them along this journey towards the purchase with you. So there's a few different types of content that you can include in your indoctrination sequence, and all of these are designed to sell without feeling like they're particularly salesy. So we call this demonstrating that you're awesome. Now, the first way to demonstrate that you're awesome is through case studies. Here's how most people present their case studies. Case study 1, commercial client, right? And then it's a long page of commercial client case studies. So what do you see when you read this? Well, you think, yeah, this is really, really boring. And this is clearly a sales tool. I'm only going to read case study 1, commercial case study, if I'm interested in doing business with this company and I want to satisfy myself that they are the right fit. But there's a few things that they're doing here. Firstly, making it really, really boring. And secondly, labeling the business at the top as a commercial client. If I'm not a commercial client, I see that and immediately think that's not relevant for me. We'll look at the subtleties of this in just a minute. But this is how most businesses present their case studies. Here's another example. Arundine MFG is a metals trading house forming part of the MFG Metals Group. They provide metals and materials for consumption in primary and secondary industries. Okay, I'm bored already. This is how the world presents case studies, and it sucks. Frankly, nobody has the time to go through this type of stuff. So at Exposure Ninja, you'll know that we like to make things fun and engaging and plain English. Here's how we present our case studies. Want to see behind the scenes of 4 game-changing SEO campaigns? One website went from $500 a week in sales to $232,000 a week. Another went from 35 leads per month to over 100 per day. A brand new business dominated its competition online within 4 months. Maybe it's just me, but those are the sorts of things that I would sign up for. I mean, I should know, I wrote them, right? But look at how the positioning is so different. Now, let's be 100% clear. These are all client case studies. We could have said, case study number 1, e-commerce business. Case study number 2, lead generation. Case study number 3, software. But that is really boring, so we would never do that because it's so dull that nobody ever wants to read it. And the other thing that it does, like I said earlier, it disqualifies people. Now, whatever sort of business you're in, $500 a week in sales to $232K a week in sales is compelling. So you're going to watch that, and then at the start of the case study, we can also say, now, by the way, notice the work that we've done here is pretty much the same as we would do for a non-e-commerce business. It's the same strategies, just differently applied. So there's ways of kind of making the content relevant to everyone that's watching. So that's how to present case studies, and that's how, when you share your case studies in your email marketing, they don't have to be really, really boring. People don't have to go and put on a grey suit and put their fancy loafer slippers on to read that. They can actually enjoy it because it's something entertaining that people will want. Some more tips on your case studies. Consider mixing up the format. So if all your case studies are just written pages on your website, that's okay for those people who like to just read through. But if you can turn some of them into a video or a webinar or an interview with the client, that's great, and that's going to appeal to the different sectors of your email audience that respond to different types of content. And remember, because you're positioning these case studies as how-to, i.e., let's say that we're selling garden rooms, right? I've just been in contact with a business that's selling garden rooms, and let's say that they have a case study which is how to set up an amazing home gym in your garden room. Well, that's something that I'm going to be more interested in than, say, case study 1, Leatherhead in Surrey, right? That's really boring, but if they position it as here's how to do this, and they turn it into a story and make it more engaging, I'm freaking in. So here's a quick exercise for you. Think of 3 case studies that you can put in your indoctrination sequence, i.e. your email marketing sequence that you're sending out to people once they come into your world. So a few prompts to think through. Firstly, what was the situation when your customer or client first came to you? Secondly, what did they want help to do? Like, what did they actually need? Because this is going to be the bit that's going to resonate with that person. So let's go back to the garden rooms thing. If I want a home gym in my garden and I see, oh, here's Bob, and he really wanted a home gym because he really wanted to do his workouts at home rather than going into the gym, I'm like, great, that's me. So people recognize themselves in the situation. So what's the situation that your customer or client found themselves in? How did you help them? And make it brief. People don't want like the endless nitty-gritty details about the technicalities of your service. Nobody cares. Clue, everyone's buying the result. And then finally, what was that result? And if you can get the impact of the result on the business, so much the better, because that's even more powerful, because that's actually the thing that people want, right? They really want the impact. They don't even really want the result. So think through those, get 3 case studies written, and that's your first 3 things that you can send to your email subscribers. Now, of course, each of these case studies is also going to have a call to action, such as if you're interested in working with us, then blah, blah, blah. Or here's the product that this person is talking about, link through to your product page. So you can see it's a stealthy way of selling because we're selling people on the outcome and then we're linking through to our product or service. So another thing that you can send out to your email list is objection handling material. Other than Booja Booja chocolate, every single business, no matter what they're selling in the world, has objections, i.e. reasons that people won't buy. One of the things that you can do with your email marketing is to handle these objections directly, but through stories. So what you're going to do here is you're going to think of the 3 top objections that people have from doing business with you, and then you're going to write an email for each one. Now, you don't need to think too hard here. You can start your email with the subject line, which is the objection. It's too expensive, or it takes ages to arrive, or what if my business isn't right for this? Whatever it might be, use the objection in the subject line because that can resonate with people because they're already thinking. Then in the body copy, you can answer that objection. There's a few ways of answering it. You can tell stories, you can go to case studies. So this person thought this and then they did this and it worked out really well and here's what they said. Or you can say something like, this is quite a common question when people are choosing whatever. So for example, at Exposure Ninja, we get a lot of people come into our world and they're thinking about getting a new website. So some of the objections they have around the new website are it's going to be really awkward to get done, it's going to take loads of time, it's going to be really painful. So let's just take the awkward to get done, right? How painful is getting a new website, or how to make your new website project less painful? And then we just simply tell some stories about businesses that have had new websites and how we've minimized the friction in that process. Notice also that we're selling ourselves in that story because we're talking about how we minimize the friction in that process. So we're subtly selling without overtly selling. If you find this sort of thing useful and you love digital marketing videos, then congrats, you've found the richest source of awesome, entertaining digital marketing ever. Or at least that's what my mum told me. So click subscribe, click the little bell icon if you haven't already. Click like on this video as well. That really helps the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video to more people. Anyway, back to the guide. The next thing that you can send your email subscribers is tutorials and guides. These are a fantastic way of doing a few things. Firstly, you can sell products and services directly through the tutorials and guides. I'm going to show you some examples in a minute, but also they demonstrate your credibility. Any business that shares their information builds trust with the audience because the audience can see there's nothing to hide. I can see this person's an expert and they're sharing what they know. Generally, people that do that aren't total scumbags. So it's a great way of building that bond with your audience. So let's have a look at how we might set this up. Now, you can either host your tutorials and guides on your own website, or you might host them on other people's websites. So let's say that you've just been featured in Forbes, for example, because you're doing some inbound journalist request monitoring and you've managed to get yourself on the Forbes website. What you might do is send an email out to your audience saying, hey, I've just been featured here where Forbes was asking me about blah, blah, blah. So there's loads of positioning there, but also if the topic that you're talking about is relevant to your target audience, they can find that really interesting and it helps to boost your credibility too. So let's look at some examples. Here's the first example from Ryan Dice at Digital Marketer. Lots to look at here. This is quite a masterpiece, if you don't mind me saying. So first thing, the headline. Open this if you're not running paid ads. Kind of curious, kind of interesting. Used an emoji in the headline, which can be a little bit divisive. Haven't capitalized the O in open. That is purely intentional because they want it to stand out in the inbox. Right, the email copy, not a massive fan of, but look at the call to action. Read, when should you start your paid traffic campaign? So this is advice, this is information. If you click on that, you go over to their website and there's a piece of information here on their blog about when should you start your paid traffic campaign. When you read this piece, you'll notice that there's a call to action that says download our newly updated Ultimate Facebook Ad Template Library for free. When you click on that, you have to fill in your email again. It'll probably be automatically populated because you've clicked through an email. And when you fill in that, you then go into a sales process for their Facebook ad training. Let's think about what's going on here. Firstly, they've sent you over a free guide with loads of information by email. You've clicked on that. That shows that you're interested in this topic. You've then got a really good piece of content which positions the business and really helps to give them authority in your eyes. You've then got this checklist, this library of templates which you can download, which you've downloaded again. You've just taken 3 consecutive steps to deepen your relationship with this business, and you've told them that you're interested in this particular topic, so they can then put you in another sequence to sell you product or service about this topic. So what this is really about, this is audience segmentation through tutorials. Comprende? Let's look at another example from the digital marketer stable, if you like. This is Survival Life, run by Perry Belcher. Fantastic marketer, go and check him out, absolute genius. The copy and everything is another story, but the story here is, have you ever wondered how people make paracord bracelets like this? Now this is sent to survivalists, so people in the US typically who are, who think that bad things are gonna happen and that they need to prepare for this type of stuff. So they are into this. Then you click here to see what you need, and it's a tutorial about how to make this thing, and the clue is they sell the products that you need to make it, right? They sell a little kit for you to show how to do it. So this is a tutorial on how to make something cool, and by the way, you go on our website, and then when you go on the site, you buy the products in order to make it. Pretty straightforward. So it doesn't feel pitchy. Neither of these emails feel like they've been trying to sell you something, but actually both of them are designed to do exactly that. Just to show you one from the old Exposure Ninja stable, here's an email that we send out to our subscribers offering them a guide on how to run a Google Analytics MOT, because newsflash, most people don't know how their Google Analytics really works, and if they did, they'd be horrified at the performance of their website, which, by the way, we're a digital marketing agency. We kind of want them to know how badly their website is doing, if it's doing badly, so that they reach out for help. So we recorded this guide, we send it over, that builds loads of credibility and also helps them to understand how much of a need they have for a digital marketing company like ours. So quick little exercise for you. List 3 guides or tutorials that you have written or could write, which help your audience get closer to their goals. It's really important that the guides or tutorials that you send out, if you're going to do this, they get the audience closer to their goals, i.e. they're relevant. Let's say, for example, that you're selling garden rooms, garden offices, garden buildings. If you wrote a tutorial or guide on how to buy a garden room from us, that's garbage. No one's going to care about that. What you really have to do is think, where is this person? What do they want to get to? Where's their desired outcome? And what guide or tutorial can we write which is going to be relevant and interesting to them, which helps them get along that line? Then you write the guide or tutorial from the position of, here's the information that you need, through the story of us helping someone else in your situation do this. So you've got that credibility, you've got the example of how you've worked with someone in their situation, and then of course you've got a call to action. Oh, and if you want to do this, then come and request your consultation or whatever. So I hope that helps, I hope that's interesting. A few quick suggestions on things that you can add to your email marketing sequences. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want help with your email marketing, this is exactly what we do at Exposure Ninja. We have a team of fantastic ninjas that build email marketing sequences for our clients. So if you're interested in working with us, we actually offer a free digital marketing review and plan. During this plan, we'll take a look at the marketing that you're doing, including your email marketing, and then we'll put together a plan to help you improve the performance of the stuff that you're doing currently. Go to exposureninja.com/review to request your free review and plan if you're interested in working with Exposure Ninja. Did I ask you to like and subscribe? Yeah, I think I did. But that's all from us today, so see you next time, and drop us a comment. What was your top takeaway from this video?